Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another podcast. Happy Friday.
Happy New Year. We're a little bit embarrassed because we haven't uploaded in how long, babe?
Like 3 months.
No, 3 weeks, no? Or
Yeah.
4.
No, 4.
So it's a little bit embarrassing. So Happy New Year. Happy Friday. I hope you guys are having a good Friday so far. What time is it? 6 in the morning. You're probably going to work. Hopefully you're living in a hotter state than us because it sucks here in Colorado right now. But yeah.
Yeah, we needed the snow, but it sucks once it gets here, guys. It's kind of lame. But anyways, we just wanted to come up here and update you guys on what we've been doing, what's gonna happen, and if we're prepared, to be new parents.
Yeah, I'm still pregnant, guys. Yesterday or Wednesday, I turned 38 weeks, which means I have 2 weeks to go full term. Who knows when baby's gonna be born? Honestly, my mom scared me a little bit because on Monday, the 17th, it is a full moon, and people, like superstitious people, say that you can either give birth 3 days before on the full moon or 3 days after. So I'm like, that's literally in a couple days or tomorrow, So yeah, we're just waiting for baby to get here, but I'm excited. And we just wanted to talk about what being new parents is, especially in the Hispanic community, because I get so many messages or questions asking me is Jonathan going to help? Is he going to do this and that? And we read them and laugh because we're like, why wouldn't he? He's literally the 50% that made the baby, So we're going to talk to you guys about that and see what your opinions are and all of that. So I'm excited.
Yeah, the other day we just got back from Bye Bye Baby. It's like a baby store, and we got so many things, guys. Things that on top of our baby shower stuff. So it's first time parents. We want to not only spoil him but be prepared in every aspect, and it's cool. I feel like nowadays you got TikTok, you got social media to help you and to see what you do need and what you don't need, because a lot of things people are like, nah, you won't even need that. So I think it's cool.
And also another thing is that it's crazy because we're 23, right? So we're pregnant, and I feel like all our friends, well, a lot of our friends have already had babies, and I just keep thinking about imagine we had gotten pregnant at 16, we're in high school, we wouldn't know, we probably wouldn't even have been able to afford anything. So it's cool that we actually hung out with Jonathan's friends the other day, and his friend's wife just had a baby, and they told us this is what you need, this is what you actually should invest in, this is what you don't need, what we didn't use and all that. So I'm like, it's crazy because we literally have friends that can tell us exactly what we need and friends that have experiences. So we were super excited to go shopping and to actually buy the things that we need and things that we got recommended. So that was exciting, and that's actually a video that it will be on my channel. I did a little haul of everything that we bought, so you can watch that there.
Yeah, guys, but without further ado, I think we're just gonna get into it. What's probably the number one question they ask you?
The number one question they ask me is Jonathan gonna help you change diapers? And I think I laugh because not only because Jonathan isn't machista, and also because he's never implied ew, diapers, and he actually grew up with so many little brothers that he did a lot of not the parenting, but a lot of the helping, changing their diapers, taking care of them. So I'm I just know that he already knows what it's like kind of to be a dad and to have to change diapers, to make a bottle, to give them a bottle, to feed them, to carry el portabebé. So I laugh because it's I know in the back of my head Jonathan has already done this, but there's so many people that are my husband just gets home from work and he just rests because he's been working all day. And I'm like, work is a responsibility, but a child is too, you worked, you put in 50% to make that child, so you have to take care of them whether you come home from work tired or not, because that's just what being a dad is. So what do you think about that, babe? When people ask me if you're gonna change diapers.
No, I think it's funny. Well, not funny, but I never thought about it, until someone asked. I was like, well, I never thought about people actually having to ask that or having to go through it, because, yeah, there's guys out there that think that just by providing the main income and the money and paying all the bills, they think que ya hicieron su parte. But honestly, I love babies, so even if I did still work and stuff like that, I feel like I would still make time to play with my son and do all that and not just pay the bills.
I feel like it goes back to the advice we've told you guys before. That was, if you want a baby, get a dog first and like see the responsibility it is to have a dog. And I saw that a lot with Jonathan. Like when we got Ozo, it was mainly me because Jonathan would work all day. So he would come home and he would still, like, he knew that he had to take him out. Like it was his turn to take him out to potty. It was his turn to train him. He would train him. Basically, all of Ozo's tricks and tries, Jonathan taught him, or taught them both how to do it. So it's like I already like got a taste of that. Jonathan working all day, he would get up at like 6 in the morning and then come home at 7 p.m. and then he would take on the role that he goes and takes him out to potty, that he trains him, that he feeds him. So it's like I already saw that with Ozo. So I feel like that's why we gave you guys that advice. Like if you want a baby, get a dog first and see if you even have the responsibility that it takes to be a dog, and see how your partner's going to be with the dog. Because even with that, we saw like who's the more strict parent or who they're going to listen to more. So I think
it's cool, guys. Like honestly, not just for like the physical portion of it, but I saw that Blanca would always not regañar a Ozo, and then he started seeing me as not scared, but he would see me as like the law enforcement in the house. And then Chai también, same thing. So then I was like, okay, I don't want that to happen with a kid, because it could be more traumatizing for him to not only do things behind my back or be scared to talk to me as a friend and stuff. So I was like, okay, so now they do stuff and I don't even bat an eye. I let her, try to regañarlos every once in a while, because then when our son gets here, she's just going to let him do whatever, and then he's going to see me as the bad guy. So
yeah,
it's
karma
cool.
is a B word, guys. Seriously, because I told Jonathan from the beginning, like when I found out I was pregnant, I was like, we need to train the dogs to not sleep on the bed anymore, which is so sad because Ozo his whole entire life has slept on the bed with us, right? So he's the one that it's harder to like tell him no. But ever since I started like implying that, Jonathan does not tell him anything. Like he's like, babe, they're on the bed. Like I'm not gonna say anything, and like it's so sad because now they're big and I feel like they know more.
Yeah.
So now like him seeing me like yell at him, I'm like, Ozo, get off the bed. Like he's probably like, what the hell? Like why are you acting brand new? You know? So it is, karma sucks. And like I'm like, damn, I should have been like a little harder on him since the beginning, because then he would see me as like someone to respect, you know. But they literally like hacen conmigo lo que les da gana, and now it's even harder to like discipline them because I feel so bad to tell him like to get off, but Jonathan won't do it because he's like, no, like you have to do it too, because they have to see both of us like that, you know. They have to respect us and also love both of us the same. So now like with the baby, I'm like, damn, like from the beginning, like I have to be the same as Jonathan, so that it's like, so that they don't say, oh, confío más en mi mamá, or like confío más en mi papá. Like we want him to look at us the same and to know that he trusts, and like both of us discipline him and all of that. So I'm glad that we got to see that with the dogs, because now like they're dogs, you know, but like with the baby, it's so much to take care of, like their trauma, and like I'm like knowing like, am I traumatizing him, am I doing something that's going to affect him in the long run, or that he's going to require therapy. So yeah, I think that was crazy.
My mom once said it. She said that like the dogs we got, especially Ozo, are like little angels that like God sent us, because honestly, Ozo has taught me a lot of patience, and I feel like if I would have had a kid first, then it would have sucked. Ozo does teach me a lot of patience every day. Like yesterday, apenas, it was the first time Ozo has smelt bad in a long time, just because it's like wet outside and stuff. And he was right next to me, like on the ground, obviously, and I was on the bed, and Blanca was like, "Well, tell him to move," and I was like, "Well, I can't." Like he doesn't understand what like Ozo go, or like go away, just because he was gonna be like, what the fuck, like he
I'm not
doesn't
doing
like me.
anything.
Yeah. So that taught me patience, to aguantarme the bad smell and just live with it. And then soon enough, pobrecito, it's like he understood us talking. He gets up and moves by himself to the door. So I was like, okay, like there I just saved him and myself a little bit of a drama or trauma or whatever, that of me yelling at him, and he just got up and did it by himself. So dogs are very good, guys. They're like little punching bags, like maybe if you have some issues like me, I'm very, very, very impatient. It's better to take it out on them, que son animales. They won't be here as long, um than your kid.
Yeah, and I feel like it's not even, because I feel like a lot of people think twice about having a dog, but like they don't think twice about having a baby. And I know that maybe our advice is a little bit like dumb. Maybe a lot of people are like, why would I get a dog? Like, I don't like dogs, I don't want dogs. But trust me, like, they really do teach you a lot of patience. They teach you so much, and it's like things that you don't even think about. But even yesterday, like, Jonathan was problem solving. Like, he was like, you know what, put the air purifier on my side of the bed, because then it will like kind of like clean up the stink, you know. But then when he was saying that, Oza literally got up and like walked away to lay on the other side of the room. So it's like, that's crazy, because before Jonathan would have probably been like, oh, so get the fuck out of here. Like, you know, if you think about it that way, like, he would have probably exploded and told him to move. And then that would have made Ozo have a bad night or something. Like, he would be like, what the hell? Like, I didn't do anything. It's just that he stinks, but he doesn't know he stinks.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I just feel like even though it kind of sounds cringy, like, that is the best advice we can give, because we lived through it already. So.
Yeah, definitely. I think as like new parents, like, feel free to comment, guys, down below, because I do feel like over here on the Spill the Beans we do have a not in a bad way, but we do have a more mature audience. I feel like you would say, like, a little bit older people. So I'm sure a lot of you guys more have had kids. So feel free to comment things that you were like, oh my god, everyone told me to buy this and I didn't even use it. I used it once. So feel free to leave those. And I feel like we haven't done a giveaway on this one. So if you comment, even if you're not a parent, just comment something about whatever, and $100 giveaway.
Yeah, just a random giveaway for you guys to start off the year right. We're a little bit embarrassed that we haven't talked to you guys, but I feel like these last couple of weeks we've just been preparing. Literally, Jonathan has been building something every single day for me. So I feel like there's so many things that you think that you need, or things that you see that you want, but there's so many things that you don't need. Like, for example, we just nos deshicimos de la idea de agarrar a rocking chair, because we got a rocking bassinet, because our friends were like, look, for my first baby I had a regular bassinet and a rocking chair, and I didn't even use it. And he's like, now for this baby we have the rocking bassinet, and it's like a saver, life changer. So we're like, okay, so now we just saved ourselves like $600 to $700 by investing in a $300 bassinet that rocks the baby. So
Yeah.
I feel like there's just so many things that we don't know, because we wanted to get both, like a rocking chair and the bassinet, but we're like, that's really just because we're first time parents and we're so excited. But it's like, in reality, in the logistics of things, like, you just need the rocking bassinet, you know. But a rocking chair would be nice too, but you know. So I think we're ready to hear all of that, because we get excited to see like, oh, we didn't get this, or oh, we didn't use this. So yeah, let's leave the comments down below and let us know what you've used and what you haven't.
Yeah, we've literally, like, I feel like a lot of people sometimes, like, when I see my friends, they probably think that, not anymore, right? Because I've gone into detail about explaining my day, but a lot of people sometimes think we don't do anything at home, or that we just record it. Yeah, we have the rest of the day to ourselves or whatever. But ha llegado el punto, guys, where it's like Thursday, like at 12 at night or 1 in the morning, and we're like, babe, the podcast. Or Friday morning, like, say llega like a whole week, guys. Friday morning we'll be like, babe, the podcast. Like, we legitimately forgot about it the whole week or the night before. So it's not like, you know, that we're just chilling, because we have a lot to do, that to the point where a veces se nos pasa hasta el podcast. So we're sorry about that, guys, but we promise we're gonna stay on top of it from now on.
We'll try our best. And I feel like with the baby, I think even just like making time for ourselves to film a podcast is going to be good for us, like to do something that we did before having the baby. And you guys will get to see him on here. Maybe he'll be napping or something, but we really want to keep up with the podcast, because we saw that podcasts really like help you guys and inspire you guys and entertain you guys, and especially because we want to be that podcast that like you're listening to and you look forward to on your way to work on a Friday. And I feel like it's cool because a lot of you guys are actually growing with us and looking at our journey. Like, maybe you guys are gonna get pregnant this year, and maybe all our podcasts about pregnancy and like being new parents are gonna help you guys so much when you're anxiously driving to work on Friday because you just found out you're pregnant, you know. So we want to talk about all of the good and the bad, and like not sugarcoat things, because I feel like a lot of people make YouTube videos and like glamorize being a parent. And I know because I watch TikToks, because TikTok, like I'm on the baby side of TikTok now, I have a lot of like things that I didn't know about being a parent, things that they don't tell you about being a parent, because there's these YouTube videos, YouTube couples that make being a parent like so perfect, and like they obviously don't record the tantrums and the late nights and all of that. And on TikTok, it's like, no, like they'll be uploading at 3 a.m, like this baby won't go to sleep and like he doesn't want to eat, he doesn't want anything. So I'm like excited to talk about the good and the bad with you guys and let you know exactly what to look forward to and what to prepare for. So we're excited. I mean, we don't know how it's gonna be to be a parent because we obviously haven't had the baby yet, but we're excited to talk about like labor and delivery too, because that's what I get a lot of questions on. It's like, oh, is Jonathan gonna look, or is Jonathan gonna cut the umbilical cord? And so like we're excited to experience that and then tell you guys in detail like this is what happened, this is what went down. So that's exciting.
Yeah, that podcast is gonna be fun for sure. But as of right now, like I could say that I am gonna do all these things, or I'm gonna say that I'm not. But then, ya estando ahí, you never know. Like the adrenaline and the emotions could take over you. I feel like I'm such a wuss when it comes to blood and all that stuff. But I feel like for you,
Yeah,
seeing
like,
you, I feel like that would just go away and then help you.
or I feel like Jonathan's prone to like passing out. So maybe right now he's like, yeah, I'm gonna cut the umbilical cord, and maybe he's
Yeah,
gonna pass
or
out.
I
You know?
legit like, yeah, pass out.
Yeah, so I feel like there's a lot, and a lot of people ask me like, oh, are you gonna do this, do you plan on doing this? And I've always told everyone that asks me, I don't have a plan for going in. Like, I don't have a plan for that. I told my doctor, like, I didn't write out a birth plan, I didn't write out like things that I want or need, because realistically speaking, every single labor is different, like Jonathan could want to like plan on cutting the umbilical cord, and then he's like, he passes out, so I feel like I don't want, like, also like how I say, I don't want him to feel disappointed, like to go in and he's like, I'm gonna be so brave and like watch, and then he can't even look and watch, and then he's like disappointed. So that's how I like see it. Like, I don't want to go in and be like, oh, I don't want the epidural, and then that's my plan like the whole time, and then I get the epidural and then I feel disappointed in myself. So I don't have a plan. I'm just gonna go, let the doctors, let God take the wheel, and whatever happens. But yeah, so we're not going in with like a set plan. We're just going in with no expectations, and that's it. We're just gonna go in, let the doctors do the work, and have a baby.
Yeah, that's freaking crazy. But I say after having the baby, yeah, para que, I mean, for those that watch this will know and probably help us out, because we're gonna get a lot of like, when are the people gonna, your friends gonna visit the baby, and probably like after quarantena. No, we said.
Yeah, so just not even with COVID obviously, but it's like the cuarentena part of it too. For those 40 days, it's pretty strict diet, pretty strict like taking care of yourself, and obviously my mom is going to be helping me a lot, and so is my suegra. So I feel like after la cuarentena, we'll be ready to like have everyone visit him, and also because he'll be older, and like, little tiny baby, he's gonna be so fragile, and like, I don't know. I'm like super scared, because I was talking to, or we're talking to Jonathan's friends about it. Like, oh, did you have people wear masks when they met them? And like, just so many things that you don't think about it, because now it's getting closer, and now it's starting to hit me like, oh my God, like, am I going to want people to wear masks? Am I going to want people to even touch him? Like, I don't know how I'm going to react. And I'm just excited because the one piece of advice that like his friend gave us was, he's your baby. Like, you have to put him first, not someone's feelings, not someone else's that isn't even the parent. Like, put him first, and then you won't feel bad about it. Like, just make sure that you're putting his health and safety first, and you won't feel bad about maybe you hurt someone's feelings, or maybe you, I don't know, someone te ve como mamona, like, he's like, who cares? Like, just put him first and you're gonna be fine. So I feel like that's the best piece of advice, is like, put your baby first. Yeah, I feel like you won't really care about anything else. So I'm excited about that. So after la cuarentena, you guys can expect all our friends to meet our baby.
Yep. We're excited for Ozo and Chai to meet them too, because we've had one experience with babies with Ozo and Chai, and it was that friend we keep talking about went to the dog park, and his daughter was there running around with all the dogs, and Chai would not leave her alone, guys. She was like, in a good way, she was like taking care of her, like kind of hurting her back to us, and everyone was like talking, right, and I was like out of the corner of my eye, I could see Chai doing that, and then I pointed out to everyone else, and it was cool seeing that. So hopefully she's a great big sister. And then Ozo, we already know he's gonna be a sweetheart. So
yeah, I think we saw a lot with the puppies too. Like Ozo, I remember, this is so funny. Like, this memory is engraved in my head, because I remember waking up hearing Nico cry, And Ozo was just sitting in the corner staring at the puppies that were on the bed. And like, like we thought it was so scary to think about because we're like, maybe another dog would have ate them, would have tried to play with them, thought it was a toy that was like squeaking and would have tried to play with them. But Ozo was just like sitting there like staring at them. And I was like, that's so crazy. Like, because Chai wasn't there. And I was like, instead of him like trying to go up on the bed and like curiously see, like he was just sitting there like, what the hell is that, what's going on? So it's like we kind of saw his problem solving skills. Like all he does is like wait for us to like tell him like it's okay or do something. So we saw that he's pretty gentle. I mean, with the puppies he was super excited to play with them, but he was also like he knew boundaries, so he didn't play with them until we told him that he could play with them. And Chai, like you guys saw, her motherly instinct is just amazing and she loves kids, so we're not worried at all. We're just super excited for them to meet him. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not really nervous about anything with them.
Maybe just they have a groomer's appointment tomorrow, so hopefully they'll be somewhat clean for the baby.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be taking their grooming a little bit more strictly. Like right now they're getting groomed once a month. I think I'm gonna cut it down to every 3 weeks, just because they are gonna be like, there's also another question that I got. It's like, what are you gonna do with the dogs when the baby's here? And I'm like, pues ni modo que los vamos a regalar o vender o llevar a la perrera. So I'm just going to be a little bit more stricter with their hygiene, just because they are going to be around the baby a lot, and like the baby's going to grow up next to them. And so I think I'm just going to become a little bit more strict and plan their groomers every like 3 weeks.
So yeah, even though we're like first time parents, guys, and everything, and we're pretty excited and nervous, I feel like it's just in my nature not to be like super. I feel like the more you put, you help me out. You said this the other day, like the more you give something attention or like special attention, the more it gets like sick and stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, you said that. Okay, this is what Jonathan was saying, because when we first got Ozo, we were first time dog parents, right? And Jonathan has always been the type that's like a little bit more, I wouldn't say careless, but like he was right in the sense that if you take care of something so much, it is more prone to get sick, right? So at the beginning, Ozo had parasites. He had this freaking giardia thing that wouldn't freaking go away. He just had a lot of like problems and ear infections, and it was mostly because when we got him, he was already sick and infested with ticks, right? So ever since that, I was really nervous. So I would take him to the vet constantly, right? And everything, his poop would be a little runny. I'd be like, let's go to the vet tomorrow. So I noticed that the parasite wasn't going away. He was getting ear infections, like just like getting sick. So then we got Chai, and it was a little bit more different because Jonathan was home now, and we kind of just like tried a different style of parenting with her, and we didn't take too much care of her, like to the point like we let her just do dog things, and I feel like she never got sick. No, right? Never. She also had ticks, but she never got sick, never got the stupid parasite that Ozo got. And I think she got an ear infection just once. And then now that we they're older and stuff, we don't put special attention. And when have they gotten sick? They haven't gotten a parasite, they haven't gotten an ear infection, they haven't gotten anything. And it's like, that's crazy, because I feel like I was a helicopter parent. Like I was so overprotective of them, and I just wanted them to like be clean and not sick and all of that. And I feel like putting that much attention on them was making them sick, and I was like manifesting basically a freaking parasite or an ear infection. So it's funny now that I think about it, like Jonathan put it into perspective. He's like, have you seen that the dogs haven't gotten sick now? And like he's like, have you seen that they haven't gotten an ear infection and they haven't gotten a parasite? And it's like, oh, it's because you really do like have to think about it. Even though we're first time parents and it's so exciting and nerve-wracking, I feel like you have to let nature take its course, and like they're gonna be fine. So now with the puppies, I'm like giving them advice on how to like treat their infections, or what to ask at the groomers, and just to like give them the best life. And it's like, that's crazy, because now that's going to be us with a baby. Like now we have to take all of these parenting skills that we had with the dogs, which obviously it's not the same, and I never want you guys to think that we think it's the same, but we can now take them and like kind of use them for the baby.
Yeah. So I feel like the quicker, that's what I'm saying with the whole dogs. Like people are like, how are you gonna have a baby and 2 dogs? Like, isn't that gross? Or like, stuff like that. But like, I don't mind, obviously not the first couple months, but I don't mind him touching, or even like, I don't know, it's silly to say, but I feel like dogs, they give you like they like help you be stronger, you know. So I wouldn't even mind if like Gozo licked them, you know, a couple times every once in a while. Like I feel like that just builds their immune system. Like when you let them play in the dirt, you let them play in the snow, like, you know, they just become little stronger things as opposed to where you keep them, you know, in their house or like so protected. I feel like once it does hit them something, it's like the end of the world because they're so sick because they've never been exposed to it. But if from a young age you expose them to dogs, you expose them to a dog, you expose them to falling. The really good piece of advice I got the other day is the most crucial thing. It's all over TikTok. It's like a sound. It's from one of my favorite comedians. Do never interrupt a kid doing dangerous things carefully, because that's when he's gonna learn. You know, obviously, like I've always never understood when parents like their kid is like, I don't know, obviously doing something reasonable, but like crossing a little pond, a puddle with like stepping on the rock so he doesn't get wet. And it's like, don't do that. It's like, why do you say don't do that? That's when he's gonna learn. If he falls and falls in the water, guess what? He's never gonna do it. As opposed to like, Dad, I truly think I could have done it without you interrupting me. Okay, and if he does it, good for him. If he doesn't, he falls in the water, he doesn't do it again. You know what I mean? So that's what the type of parent I want to be. Like, I don't want to just think about him getting sick. I want to think about him getting stronger.
Yeah, and I've seen like I just feel like in the Hispanic community, you see dogs as outside dogs, and people don't want to have them inside, and they don't want to like treat them as a pet. They just want to treat them as an animal that lives outside of the house. So I feel like, yeah, when you see like that, like a lot of people, a lot of Hispanic people that have dogs, they don't take them to get groomed, right?
Mm.
They don't like take these extra steps to like make sure that the dogs are clean and that they're tidy. So I feel like a lot of people tell us, that's why they ask us like, what are you gonna do with the dogs? Like, how are you gonna have a baby and two dogs? But it's like you have to treat your dogs and make them be the way that you want them to be. So I follow this couple, they're this white couple on YouTube that just had a baby too, and I've seen the dog like literally lick the baby's hands and lick like their tummy or their feet, but they don't lick obviously not the lips, you know, in their
Yeah.
face. But I'm like, even things like that, like you would be like, oh, that's so disgusting, but the baby's already like what, 6 months old, and it's like Jonathan said, like you're just building them up to be immune to it, or like things like that, because like you really think the dog is never gonna lick the baby. But it's like, if you tell the if you what we don't want to do is this is a huge thing that I was telling Jonathan, that what I don't want to do is when the baby gets here, start like yelling at them about different little things, because I don't want them to resent the baby and then hate the baby and then want to attack the baby, you know. So with the whole like being on the bed thing, I'm like, you have to I have to tell them right now, because if I start telling them when the baby's here, they're gonna be like, wow, as soon as that baby got here, they started yelling at me and not letting me sleep on the bed, and now I hate the baby. So it's like, that's why I'm doing everything now, which sucks, and it really does hurt my heart. But I'm like, you know what, I have to do it before, like it's for their own good and for the baby's own good, so that they have a good relationship and a good life next to each other, you know.
All right, guys, that's pretty much it for today's podcast. I know it was a super short one, but hopefully you made it to work or school safe. Um, Hopefully next time, I mean, I don't really say hopefully. It could go either way. We're here with the baby, or we're still, you know, not haven't
Pregnant.
popped yet. So let us know in the comments what you guys want us to talk about. Remember, just comment whatever you want for a giveaway. And thank you guys so much for being here.
Yeah, I know it was like the shortest podcast I think we've had in a while, but we honestly have not much to update you guys on, because all we have been doing is prepping for the baby. So, yeah, let us know what topic you want to talk about. And I do want to remind you guys that our email is philippinesjj@gmail.com. If you have any advice questions, you can always email us on there, whether we're doing an advice podcast or not, because we'll eventually get to it. So definitely email us there, ask us questions. If you want to be anonymous, if you don't want to like leave them in the comments down below, like you can just email us. But aside from that, I think that's it. Just let us know what you guys want to listen to next week, and that's
If you've sent us emails before, guys, don't be shy. Send them again, because maybe we didn't get to them, or it's been a while and it just probably got lost or whatever. So go ahead and send those again for some advice. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We love you. Échenle ganas. And until next week.
we'll see you next Friday.
Later.